Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X. Episode 36. What is the Ionian civilization of Greece? The origin of Europe. Around 3897 BC, in the bright land of the Hwanguk era, Sokgamoni Buchenim, as Shakyamuni Buddha, who was in Kazakhstan, the center of this period, led groups of Hwangungsi, of the yellow race, the eldest descendants of humanity. They returned to Central Asia, the cradle of humankind, and opened the heavens at a place with 5 peaks, which is the setting of K-pop demon hunters. It has already been revealed that this location is in present-day Turkmenistan, Central Asia. The year 3897 BC also marks the official beginning of Sokgamoni's Buddhism. Centering on this place, the Scythian-Aryans spread throughout the world. To widely benefit the human world, the Bosal, as bodhisattvas, who were the bright people of Turkmenistan in Central Asia, set out on the path of seeking truth in the 4 cardinal directions. At this time, the power that moved west to Europe established its center in what is now Georgia, located in the Caucasus Mountains. Georgia is called Sakart-Velo. Sakart at that time meant the land of Sokgamoni Buchenim as Shakyamuni Buddha. This Georgia was the historical Greece, the origin of European history. The current country of Greece was a nation built by these Georgian people when they advanced into the European continent. Forces that manipulated history swapped the continental Greece for the original Greek power, Georgia, to hide its existence. The ruling system of the central power in Central Asia was the Gupta, Gur, Gara, Gaya, which is the Scythian Buddhist system. The power that controlled this system took the Sokgamoni Buddhist culture, the origin of Scythian civilization, and established a close, particularly cultural, cooperative relationship with the Scythian centers of European Greek civilization in West Asia. European Greece achieved immense cultural accumulation through the continuous influx of culture from the developing Central Asian Turkmenistan, the overcoming of institutional and class limitations, and the objective and rational methodologies of Sokgamoni Buddhism. With this accumulation and the embodiment of its state, truth-seekers with religious passion set out on a westward path, spreading this Central Asian Scythian Buddhist culture all the way to Georgia, the historical Greece. This is why the Scythian Buddhist culture of Central Asia and the Greek culture of Europe have retained almost the same cultural patterns to this day. This cultural accumulation and its state, of course, also spread northward to Kazakhstan, eastward to the Yunnan province of China and Tibet, and southward to the South Asian regions of Pakistan and India. However, the current so-called Silk Road theory is a fabrication created by manipulative forces in the 1930s who popularized the term Silk Road. They destroyed and erased the actual Scythian-Aryan Buddhist culture that existed in Central Asia, and in its place, they packaged a newly fabricated Silk Road. They distorted history by reversing the flow of civilization, claiming that Greco-Roman cultural styles traveled along the Silk Road from Greece and Europe through Central Asia to East Asia. Let's also organize the facts about Georgia's neighboring country, Armenia. In The Travels of Marco Polo, Armenia was called Armeni or Karamani. Quoting the Encyclopedia Britannica's entry on Armenia, Armenia is called Hayastan. The suffix used in the names of the 7 Central Asian countries is stan, and Armenia similarly has the Korean word stan, meaning land of, attached to the end of its name. In The Travels of Marco Polo, Armenia was called Armeni or Karamani. It was mentioned that the people of Georgia call themselves Kart and their country Sakart. If Armenia is Karamani, meaning the land of Karaman, it implies that Georgia and Armenia originated from the exact same word. This is because Kart of Georgia and Karaman of Armenia both precisely mean person of Kara, that is, a person of the Sakara, the Scythian-Koreans of Central Asia. It was said that Karaman can also become Saraman, Haraman, or Baraman. What does this mean? Karaman is Baramun, as Brahmin. In Indic languages, Muni or Mani means person, as does Brahmin. Karaman means Scythian-Aryan of Central Asia, a Korean. It also means a bright person. Baraman means a bright Muni as person. Sokgamoni Buchenim as Shakyamuni Buddha was also a Soka Shaka as bright Muni-like person. Armenia is pronounced as Hermenia or Hayastan. The name Karaman, which Georgians and Armenians use for themselves, can also be read as Haraman or Herman. What does this mean? Doesn't it mean Hera person, Helen or Huerabin as Greek person? Doesn't that mean a Greek person? The fact that the stage of historical Greece was Georgia and Armenia on the Asia Minor Peninsula is revealed in their country names and designations. If the current official name Armenians use for themselves is Hayastan, this means the land of Hella. In Latin-based languages, LL is pronounced as Y, so Hella becomes Heia or Haya. For example, if we look at the case of the French place name Marseille, which is written as such but read as Marseilleux, it indicates that Georgia was the historical Greece. This implies that the historical Greece of the original Georgians was erased and fabricated as the current continental Greece. Armenians call their own country Hayastan, which means land of Hella. The Armenian people of today are using the current Korean word stan, which means land. Where on earth did this word Hella come from? According to Korean phonological rules, the H sound in Hella can also be pronounced as an S sound. Then Hella becomes Sela or Silla. In modern Korean, Greece is written as Huirap and can also be pronounced as Silla. Do you know where Silla, the phonetically changed pronunciation of Hella, the name for historical Greece, is? It is the center of Central Asia, the cradle of humanity, which was called Silla, Shinra, because it was a divine and sacred city. The place where the Buddha opened to heavens was precisely that Silla of Huirap as Greece. The historical Greek civilization is called the Ionian civilization. So, where did the name Ionia come from? I will conclude by revealing this. For example, the Arabic Al-Yunan and the Turkish Yunanistan are all derived from Ionia. So, from what place name did the Ionia of Greek civilization originate? It was said that Hella, the word for Greece, originated from the place name Silla, the divine land of Chandraguk, where the great papal see of Central Asia was located. Ionia originates from Yoyong, the land of Al and Lal, where the Chanja as son of heaven, the emperor of Central Asia, resided. The people from this emperor's land also moved west to Europe and transferred the name of their hometown, which became Ionia. That is why Greek civilization was also called Ionian civilization. If you continuously pronounce Yoyong, Liuyang, it becomes the syllabic sound of Ionia. In the next episode, we will reveal the secrets of the place names of the nations founded by the powers that moved from Georgia and Armenia in the Asia Minor Peninsula, the origin of European history, to Europe, as well as those of representative Greek cities. I sincerely hope that you contact many people to participate in this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The heavens and the earth will tremble. Please note that the subtitles can be translated into the language of each country, so be sure to make use of them. If you have any issues, please leave a comment or contact us via Google Mail. The Google Mail address is aryanrealhistory@gmail.com. The YouTube video address is Historical Reconstruction of Aryan X or History Restoration of Aryan X. Everyone, your subscriptions and likes represent your conscience and passion for the truth, so please do not forget.